Hello. So the past few days, or past 2 days, I have been showing up to my scheduled lives pretty late because honestly, I just lose track of time. So, um, in regards of the last stream, I had to cut it short due to I was having some technical difficulties with my Wi-Fi and such. Um, the last stream, just a little recap. I had talked about nightmares that I've had, including um, one of my very older nightmares that include a demon eating a child and a blonde girl that sometimes comes into my dreams. Also, that my dreams have also made a little town for myself. So, I also wanted to talk a little bit more about the blonde girl. You see, like I said before, the blonde girl I've just seen grown up in my dream land. Um, see, the first dream that I had mentioned with the car, that was the first dream I've ever had with her, or first couple of dreams I had with her. Um, she started coming out a little more frequently the more I recognized or realized that she was there. Um, for example, a few years ago, I had had a dream that I was sucked into a room that was on a really tall. It was a building, and I was on a high floor, and it was just like a room, just completely white. It had windows, and I was stuck there with two other people. But the two other people didn't know why they were there. They It was just a lot of weird stuff happened. But the biggest thing I knew was to not open the door. And opening the door, the thought of opening the door and leaving kind of just gave me that sense of fear, like something's about to happen. So I decided not to. And um, what had ended up happening was that a doctor in a white lab coat had came in, and he's like, "Okay, well, yeah, I don't know why you guys are here, but I need you guys to leave." So as we were filing out of the room, I saw the blonde girl, and she just like smiled at me. She was just like, it gave me the sense that she knew that I knew who she was. So I don't remember what else happened, but the blonde girl had come up quite often in my dreams. Um, However, um, so this blonde chick had come into my dreams quite often, and I've mentioned where, like the town hall dream where all of the creatures and the people that I've had in my dreams were there. I've had another similar dream, except it was honestly probably before I started realizing that I can change my dreams and have a different type of, like, not have a nightmare basically. And this dream, it was basically I was in this like prison, and I had all of my characters from my nightmares sitting around a table, and I sat there and I had told them that I did not want them there and that they should leave me alone. And that's when they all just went into different cells, and that's when I was able to basically I didn't see them again until the council dream or the town square dream. Um and even though these dreams don't seem to be highly terrifying, it still very they're still concerning, to some extent. Um, I think another one that I have had recently that had actually given me the chills, and these chills I haven't gotten in quite a long time, was when I had a dream that I was in my bathroom. And in the bathroom, I had just finished taking a shower. And I looked in the mirror and I saw that my face and my arms were blue. Like it was like someone had basically just rubbed blue paint or like blue food coloring onto my skin. And it looked like it didn't cover my entire face. So I thought like, oh, okay, I kind of smeared it on my face instead of washing it away, and um, it just wasn't. I tried to wash my hands and it wouldn't work. So I looked in the mirror. Voice crack. I looked in the mirror, and I noticed that there was like a because my mirror here it's not an open one, like it's not a little cabinet. It's just like an oval, like a mirror. But in the dream, I was able to open it. But like I opened it to grab something, ignoring the blue. And when I did, and I had turned to like there's like the crack to where you open it. On this side, I was blue, but when I turned to this side, I was red. It was the food coloring color. It was red, and I just kind of went back and forth, just kind of having fun with it. It wasn't really scary that time, and as I was doing that, it was just slowly washing away from my face. And something was telling me, like, you need to stop doing that. You need to keep it on. Um, I didn't listen because it sounded really dumb. Well, the lights started flickering. Typical. Lights started flickering, and I started feeling smaller, like I was shrinking onto the ground. And the first thing I noticed was that there was this tall, frail man, and I didn't see his face, but he was basically naked, and it was just super frail, and he's like arched into like he's like this, and he was facing the sink, and I was behind him. I was like near the door, and I could see his shoulder blades and the back of his spine. He was just very frail, and I don't know if he was doing this or he was like washing his hands, but I kept hearing like some like a deeper toned male was saying something, and I kind of heard something along the lines of in the midst of you're fine. In the midst of the winter, there will come a time, and this man was interrupted by a more higher and terrified male voice, and he was either yelling like feel, like he just yelled feel 3 times. And I don't know, that's what my brain registered was the word feel, and I didn't hear any, like, at first it was like feel, but more I thought about it, I was like feel. And I woke up, and I just had the chills all over my body. Um and it was kind of like in and out of the dream. At first I was in and out of the dream, and I was still hearing him yell feel, feel, feel. And I look in the mirror, and the man's not there, but the mirror was like completely black, and I could just see hands just reaching out like this, and it was like cuts and wounds on both of the hands, and another pair, like there was just like this, but there was another pair from the top reaching out, and it got out of the mirror, and it was reaching for me, and I was like going like this, gonna touch its hands, and then I woke up completely, and it's very, very frightening. I was really scared. And around that time, I can say that I was having a very hard time. Um, See, I'm not one. Well, kind of. I like to think of more rational things before I can think of things that are unexplainable, like the supernatural and stuff. Like, I am aware that nightmares are manifestors of fears, or they are when your waking life is not balanced properly. And it's just like your mind is trying to balance it out and telling you, like, hey, you need to focus on this. But it it's just terrifying. Um, Honestly. Um, Another thing that appears, it's like it's either in the front or like the back of this little town. Um, it's like wooding area. No, it's like in front, like wooding area. And there's a side where there are cabins and like a little camp. But on the other side, there is a house somewhere in a what is it, um like a clearing. There's just one really, it's like maybe 2 3 story, just black, like black house. It, like, it's wood, but it's all like black chipped paint. And uh the first thing I always notice about this house is that it's always abandoned. And if it's not abandoned, there there are like several people that are living there. Um but it's like, I honestly think that that little setting right there is creepypasta. It's a creepypasta setting, really. But it's not filled with these fandom characters that everyone talks about, and it's filled with people that are just regular people that are there. And um, one of the dreams, the first time I ever had a dream with this building, I was I was basically um, I was in a room with a girl, and the girl, she was wearing like a really pretty red, like, it was a dress, but it had like red on the top, and then the bottom was like white with cherries, and it was just really cute. Like, honestly, really, just really cute. And some, like, there was like a mob outside, and they were just yelling for her, and she ended up. I don't know if I pushed her or she jumped, and she just fell out of the window, and I woke up freaked out because all I heard was her screaming. And those are like the kind of nightmares or the dreams where I'm just like, I don't understand. I'm usually really good when it comes to interpreting, my own, or recognizing what my dreams mean. But some dreams like that, I don't understand. It's very least concerning. You know, it's just, dreams are just, I like understanding dreams. I like to at least try to understand them. But stuff like that, it's very it's just unnerving, really. Um see. So, I also just, I kind of wanted to point this out just a little bit. Anytime, or actually the past 3 lives, maybe, I just suddenly get a random dizzy feeling. I don't know if it's just me, but it's just like a random. So if I like close my eyes, like right now, you just saw me close my eyes. I trying to get rid of the dizziness. Um, might be anxiety. I don't know, cause um, however, I just also, is it just me? But do you guys also have those dreams where you've never been to a building, but it somehow does exist, and you notice it, and you're just like, I've been there before. Or it's if it's not like a building, it's like a person or a character of some kind of TV show before it even came out. For example, like honestly, the little kid in like the demon eating face child thing for my first dream that I had shown, he looked a lot like Chucky and the Bride's son. I don't know if you guys ever watched the Chucky stuff. Yeah, I remember you tell. I did you tell me yesterday? I'm pretty sure you told me yesterday. Um, yeah. um, but so yeah, the little kid looked a lot. If you've never seen like the Chucky movies, they have a child for some weird reason. It's been a few years since I've seen the movies, but he looked a lot like the child, and I had this dream before I even watched the Chucky movie because I'm gonna be honest, when I was younger, I was too terrified to even watch the movies. I just saw a creepy looking doll that wanted to kill me. No, thank you. And I just honestly just always had a fear of dolls. Dolls are Jesus. Um, however, there was another dream I had where I was basically in all of my dreams I am someone completely different. I'm not me. And this was one of those dreams where I wasn't me and I wasn't in a family that was mine. I had apparently lived with a mother that was very lots thinner, and she was actually kind of rich in my dream, and she wanted me to go visit my grandma, and I was like, okay, even though this person who my dream had claimed my grandma, she was kind of creepy, not gonna lie. And it wasn't just like the way she looked or nothing like that. It was more of like just the feeling she gave me. However, in the dream, I had went over and she had lived in um, what is it called? Like a, res, like a retirement home. She lived in a retirement home, and she was kind of like giving me a little tour with my mom there, and she showed me the bathrooms, like, and it was just like stalls, like really long stalls, and then it was just really clean and shiny. And I had looked at one of the stalls, and I was like, I'm gonna need this stall later. And I kind of closed it, and I noticed that the lock didn't work. And the grandma came around, and she was like, that lock doesn't work. And the way it's not creepy, but the way she said it was like she was up to something. It was like, that lock doesn't work. And it was creepy. And I was like, all right then, thanks, Grandma. And so after that, my mom had left, and the first thing this woman did was just turn to me very, very slowly. And I noticed that her eyes, like her pupils, just consumed her eyeballs. And I was freaking out. I was like, Grandma, were you okay? And she just started chasing, and I started running. And then the first thing I did was go into the stalls, and she turned into this spider-looking thing. If you've never seen Wreck-It Ralph, exactly how the bug when the thing ate candy, it looked exactly like that, except she had her face. It was more of like when if you haven't seen Wreck It Ralph, I'm so sorry. Spoiler. It's when King Candy had basically taken the form of the bug, and he was kind of like part bug, part whatever the heck he was, and um uh she basically looked like that. And I had this dream years before the movie even came out. Once I saw the movie, I was like, holy shit, or holy dudes. That was in my dream. I've had a dream of that. And another place, like I've mentioned the hospital that I sometimes have dreams that I have to escape from. That's another place that I didn't know existed until one day we were driving and I saw this building. Like we I'm surrounded by mountains and we were driving up a mountain, and the first thing I noticed was there was a tall building on the side in the middle of the desert. And I was like, holy crap, that's my hospital in my dream town. I've never seen this place in my life. I most likely have driven by it. Probably. And I just never noticed and my brain registered it. But it still kind of was like, I know this place. And I think that I don't know what kind of building it is. Like in real time, I don't know what. I think it's like it's some kind of care place. Honestly, it looked like a hospital, really. Um, another, but back to like the grandma one. I've actually had two dreams with that part. However, the second time was a lot scarier because I was aware what was gonna happen before it happened. It was like, okay, I'm gonna have to lock myself in this stall. When she was showing me around and I got in the stall and she already was trying to barge into it, I'm like, dude, stop it. It's not time. That scared me. Not gonna lie. My dog has her bone and she dropped it on the floor and it scared me. Anyway, um, so that happened. She started chasing me in her spider thing, and I, it kind of was like, it continued to the next day. And I was in school and I could see her everywhere. Like, she just popped out of nowhere, and all I saw was her deep black eyes. And she was just following me around in my school, and I was like in the dream I was like in elementary, and I had a friend who had orange curly hair, and he was a little chubby, and thinking his name started with his name was Frank. They had his name was Frank. I remember because um I she basically turned into my teacher, and I freaked out and I attacked my teacher, and I ran out of the room, and she was just like saying like, you can't hide forever. And it was just stuff like that. And my friend Frank had came out of nowhere and was like, that stop. Take me instead. Do not take him. Or I was a him in my dream. And I was like, don't leave them alone. Take me instead. And I just remember yelling Frank as she walked away with my dream best friend. And I woke up and I never had the dream ever again after that. So, oh boy. And trying to remember what else. Honestly, just dreams like that. Um, see, I don't know if you guys already picked up or you already know. I have a really big fascination when it comes to psychology, or when it comes to like just how the brain works, and um, I sometimes it just stuff does not make sense to me. You know, there are things that are just like, okay, that's happening because of this, and that is piling onto this, and that. However, some dreams that I've had doesn't feel like it's. Excuse you, I'm talking. You're rude. You scared me. That's not funny. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. Anyway, um, so basically, um, I'm sorry. Where was I? I have a living dog in my room. It anyway. So I don't know if the mic's picking up, but she's like drinking water, and I. Anyway, um, God, what was I gonna say? Um, I forgot where I was. Psychology, dreams. The dreams. Oh, the dreams. Some nightmares or some dreams don't feel like they're mine. It feels more of like something I should just see. Like it's something that my brain's like, hey, nothing's going on, but you need to check this out. Um, for example, I had a dream that I was living in a hotel, and there's this hotel in my dreamland that I have no idea where it's located. It just pops like I just pop into the part into the the building. It I've never seen where it's placed. Um, cause like anytime that I would try to leave the building, I'd either wake up or I'd find myself in another part of this building, and it's just like endless. And this building is like it's filled with crazy stuff. Like there's normal people, there's demons, there's angels, there's a bunch of different types of creatures, and honestly, it's just like it's kind of weird. But I was on the top and like the roof, and in the roof they have a pool, and I was in the pool with my sister, my uncles, and I believe a brother. My brother was there, and we're just having a great time. However, just suddenly, um, I hear my uncle or my uncles, the adults that were sitting there watching us play. They said a name. Um, I'm trying to remember. He said it with an accent, like a certain. It wasn't like a Spanish accent or like a French accent. It was like just a weird accent. Like it's honestly sounded like a Latin name, if I'm gonna be honest. And he said that, and I was like, huh? And they said it again, and there was this dark, like this black horse, like a it was just a black horse, like a tall, big black horse. And the first thing I noticed was that not only like its mane was like kind of like wavy, but its eyes were like bright gold, like just bright gold. And they were just like, if you leave it alone, it won't bother you. Or if you they didn't say it said her. If you leave her alone, she won't mess with you or anything. And she kind of looked at me, and I looked away, and she kind of turned into like a smoke, and they were like, hey, leave her alone. She wasn't bothering you. And she came over to me, and I just went underwater because I thought that would make her not attack me. And she grabbed my arm, pulled me up, and she looked me directly in the eyes and said, I know you. And I woke up. I don't remember how her voice sounded, but I just know what she said, and it was still very chilling, to say the least. Um, Another thing, I've had another similar dream to that one, except instead of the horse, it was a woman, and this woman kind of walked around the pool, and my uncles were like, "Don't look at her. Like whatever you do, absolutely do not look at her." And just kind of looking away, trying to still have fun, and pretend she isn't there. But I ended up on the deep side of the pool, and it kind of just pushed me towards her, and I couldn't like control it. And she grabbed my arm, and I woke up. And I was like, okay, that's just a dream, nightmare, whatever. A few days ago, or yesterday, I was scrolling through TikTok like any other person would, and um, there was this woman, this person, this woman that was talking about how she had a dream where it was like a bright dream, and a woman was walking outside of the building that she was in, and something told her to not look at her at all, and then just looked away. They don't want to interact at all with her, and it just went away. And she asked, "Has anyone else seen this woman in your dreams, and how did that go?" And I was like, "Holy crap! This woman was in my dream." I wrote whatever, but stuff like that. It's it's unexplainable. Um, I'm not saying that I'm like being possessed by a demon, or that I'm being um, visited by some kind of higher being or entity, whatever you want to call it. But it's frustrating to me because I don't know why or what it is or what I'm dealing with. Um, uh, Another thing, however, it's just I'm trying to think of other dreams or nightmares that I've had where it's just bizarre. Um, I think most of them are just like regular dreams that just kind of have like a little plot to it. Well, I wanted to actually take this time a little bit, since I have nothing else to really talk about. I wanted to say that I will be going live for the next few days, like just in a row, for like 7 days. So this is the third day, right? So yeah, so 5 more streams, and then I will have like an official schedule to where some days I won't stream, and then other days I will. Um, so just heads up for that one. Tomorrow, however, I'm going to be talking about like made up stories, like made up horror stories, and if probably you guys have any that you maybe want me to say out loud, just kind of write it down and send it to me. I know that um that um let me think. Yeah, just wanted to say that before we continue and anything else. Also, one of these days, I'm actually going to have my mother come in and also tell me or tell us the stream some of her own horror stories and other stories that she has of me. Um, there are, trust me, there are several. Um, she That will not be tomorrow, but it will happen sometime within the 7 days that I will be streaming. Um, what else? Um, I think this might actually be the shortest stream I have for at least a week. I don't really have any more to share, unfortunately, at least on the dream part. Um, I really did not think this one through either. um, I've had several nightmares, trust me. I just don't remember them on the spot. Um, I know. I thought it would just come up with more, but I didn't. I didn't come with any more. So, while I keep struggling to think of other things to talk about, um, uh, trying to think. Just love when I can't think anymore. I guess I might actually just end it here. I don't think I have any more in store. Um, but yeah, I will have my mom at one point coming in with me. That I will. Tomorrow's streamer will be about just made up horror stories. It'd be cool if you guys also kind of got other people to come enjoy this um is a mess of a stream. um, I'm going to try. I'm gonna try to be more prepared for this. Also, I just want to say thank you guys for being so supportive about this, and it would be really cool if I had more. If you guys could share outwards about this, my streams. So, I'm officially gonna end it now. So yeah, have fun, stay safe, and don't die.